Hello gorgeous peeps, I'm Chris from TechSpert, and this almighty monster right here sat on my desk is the Gigabyte Aorus 15. A fresh gaming laptop boasting some serious grunt courtesy of a 12th gen Intel Core i7 processor and RTX 3000 series GPU, plus a slick 360Hz display so you can fully enjoy the kind of gorgeous visuals that this beefy hardware can effortlessly spaff out. This model right here sports the 3070 Ti. It'll cost you from $2,399 from Overclockers UK. Full links and deets down in the description below. I'm certainly intrigued to see what the Aorus 15 is capable of, so let's take a full-on tour, test it out, and a big thanks to Gigabyte for sponsoring this video. Cheers guys! So first up, yes, the Aorus 15 is a rather chunky wee beast. We're talking a chassis that's 2.7 centimeters thick and 2.4 kilos, so it's definitely no lightweight. Thankfully though, those bezels surrounding that display are splendidly skinny, so the Aorus 15 isn't any bulkier than it needs to be. With its glowing lid logo, its angular finish and those enormous vents, it's pretty obvious that this is a dedicated gaming machine. And thankfully this thing seems to be solidly built as well. It should be able to take a fair bit of punishment on the road as well if you do want to take it out and about. And as you'd expect from a gamer laptop, you've got a respectable selection of ports on here to hook up all of your accessories. For one, there's a Thunderbolt 4 port slapped away on the right hand side. You've also got USB 3.2 Type-C that is DisplayPort compatible, a USB 3.2 Type-A port, and you've got HDMI 2.1 as well, so plenty of options for hooking up external monitors. And the whole lot is rounded off by an RJ45 Ethernet port, so lovely stuff. Now boot up the Aorus 15 and of course it rocks the latest Windows 11 Home Edition, complete with Windows Hello facial recognition, perfect for lazy gits like me who can't be bothered to poke in a password every time. And this works using the Aorus 15's 1.3 megapixel camera, which is housed just here above the display. And you've actually got a dual mic setup built into the Aorus 15, which works remarkably well. I tested it out with Discord during a Back for Blood session. It works absolutely fine, so good news if your headset's playing silly buggers. Now, one of the first real highlights of that Gigabyte laptop is that 15.6-inch IPS display with either a Full HD or Quad HD resolution. This here is the Full HD display, which boasts some supremely smooth 360Hz support. While even the Quad HD model can boost all the way up to 165Hz, you'll enjoy extreme detail as well as buttery smooth visuals. And I certainly saw no kind of tearing or other visual issues here on the Aorus 15. And if you're worried about color accuracy on this gorgeous panel, well, definitely don't, because you've got 100% sRGB coverage and 80% Adobe RGB coverage as well. And that screen peaks at 300 nits, so it's certainly not the brightest around, but thankfully you do get a very handy anti-glare finish on there, which helps to repel all those annoying reflections. As for the audio, well, the Aorus 15 comes packing dual 2-watt speakers, which do have a serious bit of heft to them. So again, good news if you can't be bothered to rock a headset. But for true immersion and to hear all of those chainsaw effects as you rip through sinewy demonic flesh the way they're truly meant to be enjoyed, you'll definitely want to slap a headset on. And of course, this Gigabyte laptop offers full DTS:X Ultra support as well for a proper surround sound experience. And the Aorus 15 also serves up a well-designed RGB keyboard. This really makes the most of that 15-inch chassis stretching from edge to edge, offering up everything including a full-on numeric pad. And as for that RGB goodness, well, every single key can be individually configured from within the Gigabyte control center. So you can have it set up precisely how you like with different presets for each of your favorite games. Now the Aorus 15 is powered by one of the freshest 12th generation processors from Intel. Yeah, it's powered by one of the latest 12th generation Intel processors. Specifically, it's the Core i7 12700H, which packs seriously impressive performance per watt compared with the competition. The Aorus 15 also packs dual DDR4 or DDR5 slots depending on which model you bag, and my unit here came packing 16 gigs of RAM. As for the GPU, well, you got a selection of Nvidia GeForce RTX options, the 3070 Ti or the 3080 Ti. My unit right here came packing that 3070 option. And this, plus the 12th gen Intel chipset, means that the Aorus 15 can smash through anything you chuck at it, especially when you dive into that control center and stick it into gaming mode. For cooling, you've got a pair of 12-volt fans packed into the Aorus 15's chassis, which blast hot air out of the numerous vents scattered about the sides and the back end of this laptop, thankfully keeping that hot air away from the keyboard and other areas that you're actually touching while gaming. You can actually manually tweak the fan speeds from within, again, that Gigabyte control center if you want to, but the Aorus 15 is perfectly capable of automatically adjusting the fans to keep the laptop as cool as it needs to be. So just to be certain that the Gigabyte Aorus 15 was one of the most capable gaming machines around, I spent a lot of time being generally kicked about and torn into bloody chunks by horrible gribbly type things in the likes of Doom Eternal and Back 4 Blood. Naturally, I boosted those graphics settings to ultra levels so my blood and bodily organs looked as lovely as possible as they were violently extracted from my torso. Now, frame rate never dipped at all, even when I basically spaffed away an entire evening with endless decapitations and disembowelments. The cooling system handled it all with ease, and the Aorus 15 doesn't even get that noisy even when it's really under a lot of pressure. And if you're a benchmarking fan, well, here's some big numbers for you. Cinebench R23 spaffed out a multi-core score of 12,350. You've got a single core score of 1767. Meanwhile, over on 3D Mark, Time Spy Extreme spaffed out a pleasingly big score of 5,294. Port Royal's result was also rather girthy at 6,694. And that 3D Mark stress test, no problems whatsoever. The Aorus 15 passed with flying colours with a 97.6% result. So the stability is excellent, helped along, of course, by that effective cooling solution. And no issues when you want to game online either. You've got full Wi-Fi 6E support on this thing, in addition to, of course, the Ethernet port. You've got support in here for PCIe Gen 4 SSDs, and my unit came with 1 terabyte of storage stuffed inside. And this was very nippy as well. It topped off at just over 7 gigabits per second read speeds and just over half of that for the write speeds. Seriously impressive stuff, which helps to really cut down load times to next to nothing. So that in a nutshell is the fresh new Gigabyte Aorus 15 gaming laptop. As I say, full information, all the links and deets you could possibly need in the video description down below. It'd be great to hear from you guys in the comments as well, what you reckon. And for more on the latest and greatest tech, please do poke subscribe and ding that notifications bell, and have yourselves a fantastic rest of the week. Cheers everyone, love you.